Hi, I'm Bec from Bec D Kahuna Massage. I've got Mandy here with me today, and Mandy's kindly offered to talk about her session with me, her treatment session.
It was more also a sense of calmness that I felt after the massage, and then we got chatting afterwards about another treatment that you offered called bars.
Yes, that's right.
About that, and then I ended up booking in for a session with Bec. Where I was before I had the bars was not a really very good place at all. I got a lot of issues going on with family, with work. I just was at the stage, truthfully, where I was going to go to the doctors. I had anxiety. I've never had anxiety in my life before, but I'd been dealing with such a lot.
And how did that anxiety present in your life?
For me, it was the lump in my throat. It was really intense and intrusive. I'd just be sitting there, and all of a sudden it was like I had something stuck in my throat. It was just horrible. I felt like my airway was obstructed, and that I didn't want deep breaths, but it was like somebody had almost put a knotted rag in my sort of round here, my throat here. And it would just pop up for no reason. I'd be sitting there fine, and it mainly at work it happened, but it did happen sometimes just driving home in the car from somewhere. And that anxiety was, I see myself as a strong person. Other people see me as a strong person, but all of a sudden I had these things that were happening with my body that I'd never experienced before. Were actually quite frightening. They really frightened me to have anxiety, because I always felt that I could cope with almost anything, and I have done for a long time. But I also had got to the stage where I felt my life was out of control, really, really out of control, and I'd made a decision that I was going to go to the doctors because I felt I couldn't get better without some help.
Right.
I couldn't see any other way out of my situation without having. I've had antidepressants once before, when I first came over to Australia, emigrated, and it just wasn't what I was expecting, and I didn't realise how losing my network of family and friends was
going to impact.
Yes, going on to antidepressants for a little while, and I recall the calmness that came in after I'd been on them for a while, and that's what I wanted back in my life. I wanted, I suppose, some control and some calmness, and not feeling worried 24/7. Because that's how I felt, worried 24/7.
So I suggested we do a bar session and see how you go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how did you find the bar session?
For me, it was really intense. And then the first point, really, where I started getting a reaction was when you did the implant bars, which is all about letting go of what you're holding on to. And in that first session, I said to you, you're going to have to stop, because I could feel a pressure behind my ears there.
And so I just moved my fingers out. And did that feel less intense once I did that?
Yes, definitely. I wasn't expecting to feel such intensity, but I didn't expect to feel such a pressure from fingertips, I suppose. But as the treatment continued, I started, I suppose, relaxing a bit, and I definitely drifted into quite a unconscious state where I was almost letting go of things. I was starting to feel lighter. I felt I was asleep, but not asleep. It was pretty intense for me, to be quite honest. Things that I was feeling, and even visions in my mind. It was, it wasn't uncomfortable, but it was very unusual.
And different to anything you'd experienced.
Definitely, yes, very, very different.
And it is unique, so for everyone. That's why it's very difficult to predict what it might be for someone. But Mandy's situation, Mandy's experience, was her own unique experience. So not everybody has that.
And I don't think the first few days I really felt much different. Although saying that, when I think back, I don't think I was like this tensed up person that I was when I came prior to the bars. But it was probably about 3 or 4 days after the bars that I suddenly thought, wow, I actually feel quite calm, and I actually feel not so worried about things, and I woke up lighter. It was like, yeah, I felt the depression that I felt that was starting to overwhelm me wasn't so intense anymore. Still have the anxiety every so often, but I definitely felt more peace, I suppose.
That's great.
And then I decided to come back and have another session.
That's right. And this time you were more comfortable, you knew what to expect, and we didn't have as much intensity the second time, did we? I was able to actually leave my fingertips on your head.
Yes.
For the whole session.
Yeah. And it was a very different experience the second time. I had a lot of beautiful colours and visions in my mind, which I just couldn't control. For me, it was very unique and actually really enjoyable. It was about flowing. I felt things flowing, and when I think about the experience now, I truly believe it was all about me letting go of so much that I've been holding on to, and it was a really enjoyable session.
That's so good.
Yeah, very unique, but very enjoyable.
And then we talked about you having more sessions.
So what I'd experienced was, as I said, not what I expected to experience, and I decided that for me it was I was so much more at peace and so much more happier that I decided to do the class.
Yeah.
That was because I realised that I would understand it more, and I was really interested by this stage about the difference it made to me. So, yeah, then myself and my son decided to do the class together.
Yeah, so I came here in this beautiful setting, and we did a private class in Mandy's home. And so ever since then, really, your life's changed quite dramatically, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I cannot strongly enough say that I am a completely different person, and I want different things. The things that were worrying me before, they don't worry me now, or don't worry me quite as much. I feel my head is not full of this tenseness, and my anxiety has gone.
Oh, wonderful. So that lump in the throat,
Yep.
You're not getting that anymore?
Yep, that was after the bars class that we did. And it was probably about maybe 2 weeks after the bars class, and I suddenly thought to myself, wow, I haven't had anxiety. I haven't had that in my throat. And that's a wonderful feeling for me.
So you didn't need the medication this time, you just used the bars gentle touch therapy.
Yes.
And it made all the difference for you.
Yes. Yeah. I cannot strongly enough say that had I not done this, I wouldn't be where I am now, feeling more at peace, happier. I would definitely have had to go to the doctors. So if I'm very grateful to Bec, because you really have changed my life.
Oh,
so thank you.
Well, the bars changed it.
Well, the bars.
Your willingness, your openness.
Yes.
So you would say the $360 for the class was well worth investing?
Definitely, 100%. It's, and I suppose if it's a lot to find at once, think of it as, bars, 7 bar sessions, which you're going to get back 100-fold, because you can then do the bars on other people.
That's right, you become a practitioner.
Yes.
And also, more than that, there's ongoing support. So you've
Yes.
been coming to our bar swaps every week as well.
Yes, I have. Yes.
And you get to meet other people that love bars and they've had amazing results.
Yes.
And you get your bars run.
Free.
Yes, free. So you don't have to pay for another bar session ever. So how have you found it? Because I know you've run bars for friends as well.
Yes, I have. Yeah, and I had a friend that rang me up in tears over something that happened. And I said, let me come round. I'll come round right now after work. And I did the bars on her. And I rang her about an hour later and said, oh, how are you feeling? And she said, I can't believe it. She said, I actually feel calm and peaceful, and I feel I'm going to sleep tonight for the first time in about 3 days since this incident. So it really helped her. And you know what? The bars is about helping.
It's about helping people.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's about helping people find their inner calm. It's about helping people just really find a way to exist peacefully in this reality that puts so much pressure on us from work, from family life, from the responsibilities of running a house, and all those things that increase our anxiety. The bars really helps.
Like making the effort to go to the bars because I know what I'm going to get out of it.
Yeah.
And that's keeping my journey going before my inner peace and my calmness, and you know, just I have to shut my eyes sometimes and appreciate right now that my head is free of all that horribleness I was experiencing before. And I can't tell you how wonderful it is to feel that calmness and that peacefulness.
And nothing in your external life has changed so much, has it? Really, if you think about it.
No.
It's your internal world that's changed. And so you're able to, if I'm correctly paraphrasing what you're saying, you're able to actually manage those external triggers that before were really overwhelming you.
Yes.
Would that be accurate?
Yes, so I still have the family issues that I had prior to the bars. They haven't gone away. They may never go away, but I'm definitely not reacting in the same way I was, and I'm definitely not feeling as overwhelmed as I was when things would happen with my work, with my financial concerns. I feel that things will be okay, whereas before I felt nothing was going to be okay.
That's awesome.
It is.
Thank you so much for being willing to share your story. I really appreciate it. And somebody out there that watches it that's in a similar situation or even thinking that they can't cope anymore, that there is an answer. A gentle touch therapy. Bars are 32 points on the head, 16 on either side, and they are electromagnetic bars that hold all of our points of view, our thoughts, our beliefs, and things we've been told through our lifetimes that may not necessarily be true for us. And by the touch therapy, the gentle touch therapy, literally touching our head, they dissipate. And you've just heard what they can do. And remember, it is unique, and we only let go of what we're willing to let go of. So everybody has a different experience. And Mandy's experience was quite intense, and credit to you, Mandy, she chose to continue. Even though it was intense, she chose to continue. And now, would you say to anyone who had a first bar session and found it really heavy and challenging, what would you say to them? Because your first bar session was quite challenging.
Oh, definitely. I'd say persevere. Definitely persevere. And just do something you would never usually do before. Take a risk. I am a different person, and I am so, so grateful that I chose to continue.